Welcome to the Certificate in Hypnotherapy Supervision. I'm Debbie Waller of Yorkshire Hypnotherapy Training, and this is the slideshow which supports Module 1, Introduction to Supervision. This slideshow and the others in the series, along with the notes and workbook provided with the course, are copyright. We'd appreciate it if you'd respect that and not share them with others without our permission. Each module of this course has a short companion slideshow. These pick out the most important elements of the material, and they often include extra information or worked examples. Watching them helps you get the most out of the course. In the notes we looked at a variety of definitions of supervision. Most of these defined it by what it should achieve rather than what it was, and the majority included 3 elements which they had in common. Emotional support for your supervisee, improved service for their clients, and increased learning and effectiveness in their practice. In defining supervision by what it does rather than what it is, the writers leave us with a bit of a problem. Just look at this image, for example. It's a car, and if we define it by what it does, we could say that it's a wheeled vehicle, that it helps people to travel from a starting point to a destination. That's correct as far as it goes, but it doesn't rule out this, or even this. There's a kind of unwritten assumption that we'll just know it when we see it. This is one reason it can be difficult to distinguish between supervision and other processes, like training and therapy, and that's a point we'll come back to later in the course. At any rate, in most cases you are fairly free to negotiate exactly what you want your supervision to be. Historically, supervision grew out of the system of apprenticeships, in which skilled craftsmen would agree to train someone new to the trade. In this context, the goals for supervision were checking, evaluating, and mentoring the supervisee. This isn't too far from some modern supervision, especially if you and your supervisee work for the same organisation. For hypnotherapists, where both parties are generally independently self-employed, the evaluation element may appear to take on less importance. However, remember, if you feel a supervisee is acting in a way that's unethical, irresponsible, or incompetent, you may have to take action to safeguard them or their clients. A lot of books and courses on supervision seem to just assume that it's a good thing, but as you'll have seen in the notes, it can be difficult to prove this. The good news is that most people who undertake supervision perceive it as useful, and there are studies to support them in this. The benefits most often picked out are these: lower stress levels and a reduced sense of isolation for supervisees, especially important for hypnotherapists who often work alone. Higher job satisfaction. Accountability to a professional body or a code of ethics, reassuring for both supervisees and their clients, and skill and knowledge development. As a hypnotherapy supervisor, you have another factor to consider, which is value for money. If your supervisees don't perceive your service as worthwhile, they will vote with their feet, and either find another supervisor or drop out of supervision as soon as they can. It's worth giving some thought to that as you plan and offer your services, and worthwhile to reflect on your own supervision experiences, good, bad and indifferent. It's certainly a discussion worth having with new supervisees. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to complete the exercises on this material in the workbook before you begin Module 2.